Eyes are priceless, and in this video we will see a software which helps us to protect our eyes when we work on computers. Before we go ahead, I suggest that you subscribe to this channel so that you benefit maximum from the information regarding economics, quantitative economics, research and useful softwares. So this happens with us that we use quite a bit of computer these days, and our eyes, they get strained from that, and we can also have this situation where we start seeing the things blurry. And in last decade or previous decades, we have been using such screens in order to save our eyes from the extra strain and damage. But recently we see that in this post-COVID world, people are glued to these screens because we do quite a bit of things virtually, so the screen time has increased dramatically. The problem that arises is of the proximity to the screen, because we have to see the computer up close and we have to watch it for long time period, and we are not even blinking our eyes because of the concentration which is required. So a software can help us to overcome the side effect of this new routine in this new normal, and it is known as CareUEyes. Don't mind the grammar issue in that, but this is what the name is, CareUEyes. It's basically helpful in filtering the blue light and provides eye protection software, and it increases the readability as well. So what is blue light? It is basically shorter wavelength, and it has higher energy than the usual colors, and it has the ability to create a noise which is due to the unfocused visuals, and it reduces the contrast because of the lack of focus, and hence we have EyeStrain while using the digital technology. So this is the software that we are talking about. This is the interface. It has quite a bit of options that we will see one by one. So we have a PDF file in the background, and it can show us the difference when we use this. Right now the color of the screen, the color contrast and everything is normal. Let us experiment with it. The first tab is of display, the other is of timer, and then we have focus, options and about the software. So in the display tab we have the warmth of the color and the brightness of the color, because the colors, they are warm and cool. As you can see in this palette, we have warm colors. These are the warm colors: yellow, orange, and then up to red and crimson. And this is the range of the cool colors. As you can look at these and feel better as compared to these colors. So this software allows us to make things cooler. This is the range of these colors, the warmth. It is right now at 6500K. If we slide it to this place, it will increase, the warmth will increase, and this is one of the ways to do this. And we have the brightness. We can increase or decrease the brightness as well. Right now it is not working, the slider. It will work when we activate the custom option, in which we can increase or decrease the slider as much as we want to. We can make it more bright or less bright. It's all possible with it. And the warmth can also be increased or decreased. So after the slider we have the sunrise and sunset. Now I choose health option, and you can see already the color has dimmed a little bit. The warmth and the brightness, it has changed as compared to this, which is the normal. You see there is quite a bit of reduction in this brightness and the warmth that is causing a strain to our eyes. Now I come to this sunrise again. Sunrise has this level of warmth and this level of brightness. When I click sunset, both of them have declined substantially. It means that for the night we have an option that is less bright and less warm, because in the surroundings in the night we have less light, so it suits our eyes. Right now it's sunrise, so I'll keep the sunrise option. It can enable this thing automatically as well. And this is the button. Now it is disabled and now it is enabled. I can configure it because of the difference in the timing around the world. We can adjust it accordingly. If we have sunrise time at 6 AM, we can do it, and if the sunset happens at 18 hours, then we can do it here. We can change it easily, and it can suit our geographical location. And now let's check all of these. This is the deactivation, no effect of CareUEyes. This is health customization. This is slightly lower than the color temperature and brightness, darker than office mode. This is office mode, and you can see office mode has its own combination of brightness and warmth, and it is good for our office work when we are in office or doing some office work. This is for game. When we are gaming, we can use this option. This is keeping the true colors and reduces the brightness as well. And then we have normal color temperature. And if one is watching a movie, then we can use this option. It is suitable for watching movies in a dark room. It will protect our eyes as well as maintain the true colors of the movie. We have seen the contrast of office, and editing mode is the most interesting for me. So when I turn it on, you see it inverts the color. It is now reversed in its combinations. It is suitable for such situations when we are doing editing. As you can see, this is a document that we have made, and there is quite a bit of mathematics or symbols in it. It may be not very easy to handle it in this situation, but if I convert the mod into editing mode, it becomes a little friendly to read, and editing can become easy on it. So I prefer doing the editing work on it, especially when there are symbols like these. And in addition to this, we have another mod, which is a reading mode, and when I turn it on, as compared to the original one, you can see that it is making the things black and white, and it's quite easy to read it. It's as if you are reading a book. So this is one of the modes that we have. Now we come to the timer option. We have to deactivate the option, so that becomes clear. So we have a timer option. It's a very useful tool because it allows us to take breaks and to be more productive. And when it comes to productivity, there is a technique known as Pomodoro Technique. It is a technique given in late 1980s, and it has 5 steps. Basically, Pomodoro stands for tomato in Italian, and the inventor of this technique, or the person who floated this idea, basically used a certain time schedule, and he used such a tomato timer to follow that time schedule. And the technique is actually that we choose a task. This is the first step, and then we set a timer for 25 minutes. One should do that task, and then one should wait for the beep, and when the beep happens, then he should take a break of 3 to 5 minutes, and he should do this for 4 times, and then he can take a longer break after 4 of these sessions, or Pomodoros. Hence it is called as Pomodoro Technique, because 4 times this Pomodoro will be allowed before we take the long break. So this Pomodoro technique, as well as there is another technique for productivity and saving our eyes. It is known as 20-20-20. What we do is we take 20-second break every 20 minutes of work on the computer, and during that break we watch something or look closely at an object which is approximately 20 feet away. This saves our eyes from getting damage or our eyesight, because the focus close to the screen for longer period of time without breaks can be hazardous for the eyes. So we can follow both of these 20-20-20 rule, as well as this Pomodoro technique is available here. We can turn it on, or we can even try the other possibility, that is every 20 minutes a break for 3 minutes or less. We can set any range, that is 1 minute, 2 minute, or any other minute, or we can fix it for seconds as well. For example, 30 seconds and so on. Let's make it 2 minutes, or 20 seconds, because that is the 20-20 technique. And we can activate it. We can start this, because now the timer has started. We can do work for 20 minutes, and then after 20 minutes this will happen. That is the rest break will appear. Now I chose 1 minute just to show you the preview of it, and I can see a small message has appeared already showing that the break is going to happen, and the break is now happening. We can end this. We also have 12 minutes left, 12 seconds left before the break ends. So this is how the break will happen, and we can also end it by clicking on this end break option. And now the screensaver, the screen locked, it is appearing. So this is how we can use this option very productively. We can see that this is now happening. So I have to stop it, because right now I don't want to do it again. Just to have a glimpse at Pomodoro Technique mode, when I turn it on, it suggests me to do the work for 25 minutes, the task, and then take a short minute of 5 minutes short break of 5 minutes, and then take a long break which will happen after for 15 minutes, but it will happen for 4 Pomodoros. So it will not happen after 25 minutes, it will happen after approximately 2 hours, because 25 plus 5 into 4 Pomodoro, so it means that it will happen after 120 minutes, that is 2 hours. So we can choose this option as well, which is a well established productivity technique. Now we come to the another good option that we have, which is known as focus. Now I have reduced the focus height to 20 so that I focus on few lines instead of more than one lines. So now the focus is on, and it's easy for me to read only that line that I want to, and avoid the lack of focus which is caused when we have such detailed document to read. So this is also a useful thing to focus that this software allows. And we have quite a bit of options in it. The general options are that we can change the language, we can check for updates, I can check it, but I haven't right now because I already have the latest version. And I can allow it to start with Windows. I have checked it because it is good. I don't have to turn it on every time I start the Windows. Its icon can appear in the system tray, and it is good as well, so that we could access it again and again. And it doesn't disturb when we have full screen, because when we are playing something in multimedia, if it is full screen, we don't want it to trouble us. And then we have timer settings. If I click this, the timer will appear here, and if I uncheck it, it will disappear. There are more than one ways. It can appear in a mini progress bar. It appears at the top of the screen, and this appears anywhere we want it to be. For example, I can drag it here, it will show me the timer progress. And this is the setting of the this timer option, and I can change it. I can see the preview as well. It is for the timer reminder. Let me see the preview. It was here on the side of the screen close to the system tray. So this is also available if I want to use it. And then we have force rest. We can force the rest so that even if we want to break the break, that is discontinue the break, it doesn't. And lock the windows at the end of the break. It happened when I used it, that the window, it got locked, so I have to log in again once the break has been completed. We can use a password as well if we want to. Put further barriers in our resumption of the work, we can, so that we follow the breaks. And then we have delay the timer. Sometimes you have to delay the timer because you have very important work and you don't want to discontinue, so you can delay it, and this menu will appear if you enable it. So that option will be available. And then if we are we have these two options to make sure that we follow the breaks. This is why they have given this option where for 3 minutes, if the mouse is inactive, the timer will pause, so that it makes sure that we are following the break, we are observing the time period of the break. And then the timer can restart if the mouse is inactive for 15 minutes. This is another option. And the timer, after unlocking the window, it can restart if we want to. We can have lock screen wallpapers in random way, or we can choose the same screen wallpaper. I think random lock screen wallpaper is a good option. And we can also play a sound at the end of the break so that we are informed that the break has ended. And we can use any custom wallpaper if we want to, instead of the usual wallpaper selected by the Windows. And this was the timer tab, and in the display tab we have the enabling of the advanced color API, which stands for application programming interface. It has the option of using the advanced color API. It is as compared to the color API, it is advanced, so it provides better results of the picture that we are seeing, and is good for our eyes as compared to the simple color API. So it's better to keep it on. Enable the software mouse cursor, and yes, we can enable it so that we can see the cursor in every situation. And we can use a wider color temperature ranging from 0K to 10,000K. This is the slider, and we have enabled it, so you can see that it can go to any level between 0 and 10,000K. And then we have keeping the window background clean. This is a very useful option. Here just we are going to do this again. The difference between the white and the green background. The green background, as you can see, it's much more easy on our eyes. So it's another good option that it has. If you want to use hotkeys, if you are fond of using the keyboard instead of the mouse, we can choose the keyboard hotkeys simply by choosing this and then pressing those keys that we want to make hotkey. And then we can introduce any additional rules for triggering this or enabling this or disabling this. Disabled when using in the full screen software. So this can also be done when we are using, for example, VLC player, but right now it is unchecked. Because we use the movie mode for that, I think it's not suitable to disable it, otherwise the movie mode will not work. And this is how various tabs are there. And this is the about tab of the software. It's a pro version that I have, because pro version has all of these options that I have shown you, and this is the latest version launched in January 2022. So if it is licensed and if it is registered, it's going to give you all of the options, and it's worth it. So this is the software CareUEyes. I hope you have enjoyed this introduction to this very useful software, and it will help you to be more productive, and it will allow you to save your eyes from unnecessary damage that is happening in this post-COVID era. Thank you.